Between the adult world and the world of kids, their holy land exists. The lenient law and the reality of violence rules a separate world. In that world, he was there. Yu Kamishiro, he was, without a mistake, there. This series has been on my to-be-read list for over 4 years now. And the reason is because this is the author who's finishing the Berserk manga for Kentaro Miura after his tragic death on May 6, 2021. His name is Kouji Mori. When I heard he was taking over, I was conflicted in a lot of ways. I didn't know what to think. So I looked into the artist, curious of his previous series, and that's when I found his platinum opus known as Holyland. I added it to the to-be-read list and forgot about it until now, 4 years later. Now, I don't want to talk a ton about Kentaro Miura or Berserk in this video. After all, this is a Holyland video, not a Berserk video. But I think it's worth mentioning the unique scenario that Kouji Mori is in with the Berserk manga and his relationship to Kentaro Miura. The two of them knew each other for 40 years since high school and were close friends. They were consultants for each other's manga as well. And in turn, the only one that knew Miura's vision for the series was Kouji Mori. And that includes the most important aspect, the conclusion. Mori wants to focus strictly on what Kentaro Miura's vision was for Berserk, nothing more, nothing less. It's clear that Mori was the one and only person for the job, and him already being an accomplished mangaka on top of all of that. We can only presume that he will do Berserk and Miura's vision justice, but only time will tell. Back to the main topic. Now, Holyland is a manga that carries with it some pretty heavy themes. Drug addiction, isolation, depression, self-harm. But at its core, it's a street fighting martial arts manga. When reading this series, you can tell the love and care that went into making it. That inspiration stems from Mori's personal experience, including his time at the University Boxing Club. With this manga being packed with so much fighting knowledge, you can tell that Mori is knowledgeable himself, as well as him putting tons of time into researching different fighting styles. We get to see loads of facts about boxing, kickboxing, karate, judo, wrestling, kempo. Kamishiro meeting all these people with different fighting styles, picking up different techniques from those encounters, is one of the main things that turns him into a mixed martial arts prodigy. This series was written when Mori got into a bike accident that led to him going back to his dream of becoming a mangaka. With Mori even mentioning in one of his arcs where our MC Kamishiro loses his ability to fight, relating that back to his loss of imagination for his mangas. Writer's block. Yu Kamishiro is a very peculiar main character. He's not your typical badass, overpowered character. He has a ton of growth to get to the point of being capable at all. Yes, he has an unnatural talent for the art of fighting in general, but that stems from his desire to be able to defend himself from the onslaught of severe malicious bullying that he endures for years, initially learning how to fight from a book and practicing his straight arm in his room thousands and thousands of times. Eventually learning different techniques from tons of different people throughout this 18-volume series, he even studies film like a professional fighter. He's a character that, like I just mentioned, has an innate talent for fighting / consuming knowledge, but never letting that get to his head throughout the entirety of this series, always staying humble and true to himself. While as true as one can be, when really nearly the whole series he's aiming to find himself, find a place where he belongs, find true friends, after only ever having people look at him with pity and disgust, including his own family. If I had to relate his character to anyone in the anime / manga world, it would have to be Shinji from Evangelion. Now, Shinji gets a lot of hate, but I never really understood that. I've always respected and understood Shinji and felt sympathy for his situation, and that's kind of the same outlook I have for Kamishiro. Kamishiro is not the only one aiming to find themselves throughout this series, find what they fight for, find what they live for. Some characters using drugs as an escape from reality, some actually being jealous of Kamishiro's fighting ability and rejecting him because of that, even with Kamishiro being such a genuine nice person. But Kamishiro isn't just a nice guy. Throughout his self-defense journey, he ends up discovering something inside.
I can't control the beast inside!
We get to kind of see a battle between the two sides and him discovering his true self, whilst diving into other tragic character backstories and their journeys. Masaki Izawa being one of the main characters on a self-discovery journey, him having a really cool ending to his story as well that I won't spoil. I believe that every piece of media should have some sort of romantic element to it, and this series is no exception, with our main character slowly getting involved with Masaki's sister, which is great. I'm an absolute sucker for romance anime, and when you have romance in something, that is one of the big key points that keep me engaged throughout my read. My only complaint is that there wasn't enough romance. This fucking wiener. And the ending of the manga leaves it on kind of a viewer's imagination kind of situation. Not just the romance element, but the entire story of Kamishiro, which can kind of be a double-edged sword. On one hand, I think it can help accentuate a series. I think Studio Ghibli does a great job with this, and on another hand, I think it can leave the viewers with a bad taste in their mouth, making it feel unfinished. With Holyland, I think they did a pretty good job with it. They divulged just enough information for me to feel relatively satisfied. This manga is great, period. I was really impressed with it, and it's quickly turned to one of my favorite mangas. It's a very serious manga with it really not having any jokes or funny moments in it like a lot of other serious series do. Hell, even Vagabond has the occasional funny joke in it. We get to see so many characters in a serious struggle, but that's what makes it so much sweeter. When they go from wanting to die, attempting suicide, drug addiction, nowhere to go, no place they belong, to making their first friend, making a couple friends, finding a lover that cares for them and their struggles, and finally, discovering what their holy land is. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.